sounds start erupting from outside. The door gets bashed in, furniture goes flying, and who shows up? Our crazy guy walks in saying, "Sorry for breaking stuff, but big sis, I'm here." He's standing there like a psycho with a knife in hand, while she turns bright red and everyone just stares. They're wondering if that's really her brother. While he's looking around the office, some guy in the back yells out that he has no clue who this kid is. Like, why destroy the barricade protecting everyone? The idiot apologizes but tells them not to worry since the monsters are already dead. Those fools are terrified. He tells everyone to grab a weapon. Even if they failed the first stage, one person can handle a single goblin. Sis wants to know where he's going. He says he obviously saw more goblins on the way here and is going to go deal with them. Even if there's only a few left, gotta make sure everyone sleeps safe tonight. Then check this. She pours some water on his arm and the thing just keeps swelling up. What the hell is happening? Kang Ryun's arm is going to be 5 meters long soon. Sis gets mad, telling him to stop acting tough. She asks why he's going around picking fights. He explains he didn't mean to get beat up this bad, but usually his regeneration skill helps out a lot. But since it's not active out here, things aren't exactly easy. The crew puts the barricade back up, and she tells him to be more careful. If skills don't work, that means no resurrection either. Dude is clearly not right in the head. He says whatever, because it was pretty cool. Sis says that's exactly why he deserved to get hit. But even if she thinks that, seems like someone else is thinking differently. Her senior coworker wants to meet our boy Kang Ryun. The rascal is blushing already. And here we are, time for stage 5. He's got to prove his wisdom and overcome the difficulties. Poor guy actually forgot he's still trapped in this thing. Whoa, check this weird group. Blue-haired girl is telling the redhead she is a succubus. Kim Ryong-hoo's girl is begging everyone to chill out. Kang Ryun spots this crowded group wondering what this nice little situation is about. Ah, the clear condition for stage 5 is killing a succubus disguised as a human. As always, failure means death. Obviously, the succubus is hiding her identity, and whoever figures it out first is going to be the first target. Kang Ryun is already thinking the worst. He knows these women are demons. They disguise themselves as gorgeous ladies just to drain his energy. Problem is, all the girls in his group fit that profile. Then Han Se-yeon walks up, eyes all sparkly, asking what Kang Ryun thinks. She wants to know who he suspects is the succubus. Our boy just thinks she is dangerous, but damn, she's pretty up close. Acting all awkward, he says he's not sure, right? No idea. But then, boom, the system says his mental strengthening ring just blocked a seduction attempt. Damn, Kang Ryun is sitting by the campfire thinking about how the first stage was that total fire disaster. Second stage was a goblin battle, third one he got peed on, and the fourth he suffered for a whole month. He's been suffering like a dog this whole time just to win, but for the first time, he thinks this is going to be an easy win. He covers his mouth, realizing he was giggling like an idiot. He's got to be smart about this. If she figures out he knows, he's dead meat. Plus, a succubus has got to be super strong, especially one that can shift into a human and seduce people like that. Not to mention the other guys are probably already under her spell, so he better be real careful. He thinks about talking to the other girls, but decides to just sleep on it for tonight. And then, obviously, he wakes up back in his sister's office. He jumps up screaming, and everyone tells him to chill out. The army was already arriving, but Kang Ryun just wants to kill that witch. She must be realized he wasn't seduced and killed him while he slept. Suddenly, it clicks. He asks, "What's this about the army showing up?" Exactly that, bro. The battalion rolled in, pulled out machine guns, and wiped out the goblins. Man, at least, right, for the first time guns are actually working on the greenies. Our boy Kang Ryun is just watching from the window, while everyone's celebrating saying they were saved. But Kang feels something weird and wonders, what the hell am I feeling right now? Something dangerous is coming, almost feels like him. Can't even finish the thought, man. Kang Ryun sees guys reloading, spraying bullets everywhere, wondering why it wanted to end. Then boom, red goblin right there, bullets bouncing off the body. Guys pumping 200 rounds, but obviously nothing was getting through. They keep pushing, but you could hit it square in the forehead, and the thing just turns its head. Monster turns, screams like it lost it, and runs at the car. Drivers gun it while shooting back, but the goblin just jumps and, man, massacred everyone. Kang was just watching from up top, scared stiff, man, while the goblin stood there with that creepy aura. Some other guys mentioned Squad 3 attacked and got wiped out. Dude orders backup, but seems to have a weird headache. Split second later, Goblin's on the car licking its lips. Guys ask, "Where's support?" And he says they're sending a talented civilian. Bro, sure, a civilian ain't gonna do squat. Goblin jumps to attack again. Guy pulls the gun knowing he's gonna die right there. But Beast freezes midair, cause our Kang Ryun throws a cement block right in its mouth, son. Sent that thing flying. Our Kang Ryun climbs the car, asks if army guy is okay. Sees on Kang Ryun's face, shaken all over, saying it's another monster. Kang says, "Chill out, kid. I'm the backup here to help. Lower that gun." And Soldier Boy's trying to figure out why he looked so threatening. Apologies, thanks for help, but Kang replies that, man, better get ready, cause the monster was getting up. And the reason for coming down to kill this creature is cause the beast stared at the office and knew after killing these guys, monster was coming upstairs. Kang asks if they brought tear gas, chemical stuff. Guy says yeah. He says use it all. Right now, and don't worry, got a way to handle it. Heads towards it and tells him to start shooting. Sister man just watching from up top, scared. While our boy walks to the goblin, says it looks kinda tough. Army dudes grab tear gas bombs and throw them under its feet. At least that was working against the beast. Creature starts attacking everywhere, desperate, and our Kang Ryun noticed that. This one acts just like those hobgoblins from before. Could be suffering too, but way more used to pain than any creature. First attack rips the weapon from the monster's hand. Now all the beast can do is take a beating. Problem is, Kang Ryun's arms are shaking, looking like crying, wanting to know why it's so tough. Soldiers impressed from afar with Kang Ryun's talent. When someone shows up, asking what happened, Blondie wants to know who's fighting, if he's the backup sent. Our Kang Ryun. After the whole combo, hands all calloused now and still got nothing. Eye burning like hell, and the damn thing ain't got a single scratch. Wonders if gotta use something like martial arts to break a joint or something. Suddenly someone says excuse me and slices the goblin. Man, looks like the dude is fierce. Kang Ryun notices the hit, wonders who has that fast guy. Looks like Blondie didn't get it either. Just hit. Didn't cut nothing. Calls for Kang and says that's an F-rank dungeon boss. Defense extremely high. But definitely had some weakness. Kang notes the bastard knew it was an F-rank dungeon. A boss, so I know, experienced. Charges the goblin and tells him to spill the plan. Guy says keep attacking, cause monster's stamina looking zeroed. Couldn't defend right. Kang keeps pressure, but wants to know what's the use draining energy if they ain't a causing damage. Well, that attack, sword shattered. Needed a new weapon. Same time notices the one ripped from the beast's hand. Runs to grab it. Guy says, keep attacking from the other side, kinda the weak point. Kang noticed though, creature took hits anywhere but eyes. Problem is, monster was protecting, so had to create an opening somewhere else. Says don't know what to do. Blood spurts. Whoa, man. My god, hit a bullseye on the monster. Kang Ryun stands there apologizing to the beast, saying it was a low blow. Says the weapon seemed to move automatic to that spot. Maybe that really was the beast's weakness. Wasn't sure, but man, now it's in. Gonna kill this creature. Lifts him stuck there and slams on the ground tearing. Man, oh man. Beast bounces, advances again. Poor monster was, all crying, mouth foaming, and our Kang Ryun drives it in, man. While finishing, Blondie's watching from far, thinking the bastard really strong. Eventually gonna finish and know what it is. Soon as puts in inventory, Blondie comes wanting to know who he is. Kang thinks the bastard wants to steal the item. Cause, right, fight together, share together. But didn't ask help. This guy who butted in with the fear the guy wants what he took. Didn't even know what it is, son. Runs off saying busy, got things to solve. Winks goodbye while Blondie stood there confused, not knowing what's up with this crazy. Few hours after killing Hobgoblin, city finally calmed. Obviously escorted sister back home, but streets looked like apocalypse scenario. Night had already fallen by the time they finally got back. But the second they cracked the door open, his sis asks if he forgot to lock the damn door. The whole place was trashed. She tells him he really hasn't grown up at all. They just walk in all chill, kicking off their slippers without even worrying that whatever broke in might still be inside. But check it out. The perks of having a big sis, she already whipped up some grub for Kang Ryun, and he's just stuffing his face. Glued to his phone, she tells her buddy this is insane, tells him to take a look, and boom, there's a video of him wrecking that goblin. Our boy Kang Ryun freaks out, realizing that's him. Who recorded this? They posted it without consent. The comments were saying it was cool, while the haters claimed it was way too easy. It was just a little stage 2 goblin. Still, Kang Ryun was born to be an influencer, and just a few likes already have him acting all giddy. Seeing this, his sis says his face gives it all away. He tells that brat to quit talking trash about his beautiful mug. Until he noticed everyone in the comments saying he looked more like a villain. A bit later that night, he called his sis and said he needed a favor. Weirdly enough, she asked what for. He told her to hit the lights. She was confused, but hey, since he saved her earlier, she figured why not. But he better not wake up screaming like an idiot. He shoots her a thumbs up and tells her to chill. The stage this time was gonna be a breeze. While trying to drift off, he kept thinking about how that blonde kid seemed strong as hell. How many stages had that guy cleared? Our boy knows, if it weren't for his skill, he barely would have made it past the 2nd. But whatever, right? Sooner or later, he's clearing the 8th. Time to get stronger than everyone. He remembers that damn succubus was actually kinda cute. Even though she killed him and he knows she's a monster, for some reason, he's hyped to see her again. He pops into the dream with a goofy grin, anxious to see her waiting for him. But when he opens his eyes, some goblin is staring right at him, breathing in his face. He punches it square in the mug. The thing goes flying. Immediately, he wants to know, Where's that amazing team that was with him in the last dream? But weirdly enough, the mission this time was to wipe out a goblin cave and clear the dungeon. Cave goblins have trash vision, but super sharp hearing, and as always, why no, if he fails, he dies. He finds himself surrounded and wonders why they're harping on about this hearing thing. As the beasts close in, he lets out a scream, demanding to know why the perfect mission disappeared. I agree, man. Where's that beautiful mission? Come back to us. The scene shifts to a PC cafe in the city with some blonde guy. Everyone, especially the wreck in the green coat, wants to know how someone who hasn't even started the tutorial is stronger than someone with actual talent. The blonde laughs and tells him to shut it, warning that nothing changes just cause he got a few stats. Remembering our Kang Ryun's score, he licks his lips, saying something interesting finally showed up. Hey artist, why don't you draw this kind of shot with a chick instead? Why do you do this, you jerk? 5th stage, 3rd round, looks like our boy died from the looks of it. The mission now is to kill the doppelganger, a monster that eats humans and, kind of steals their form and hides among everyone else. The hint was that holy knights and mages could use a skill once a day. I don't know which one, but yeah, that's it. Our boy is obviously there in the middle of a crowded group. It was kind of like finding the succubus, which was way more fun than finding a damn doppelganger. At the same time, this felt like a game of mafia, right? Just standing around suspecting everyone and all that. Wisdom was the required stat, but he already figured out how group play works. He takes a deep breath, man, and screams, telling everyone to look at him. The guys turn around in silence. He coughs and says, "The first one to move is the culprit and gets killed." That's what our Kang Ryun says, but he forgot one thing. In a game of mafia, the one who talks the most usually dies first. Looks like he's already dead and didn't even see what hit him. Man, all I see is him waking up and going to sleep, right? I'm not even seeing the gameplay, and it looks like he's been stuck on stage 5 for over a month and a half, man. Some guy with glasses asks what the sister thinks. Ah, damn it, that's not some random glasses guy. It's our Kang Ryun trying to act all smart. She says she just got back from work and asks what the hell this is. He replies that he's trying to change who he is, starting with his looks. He'd already died 53 times on that cursed mission, and it was time to try something else. The damn system keeps telling him to use wisdom, but actually, every mission is different, so he can't learn a thing. His sis says the only way he's getting smarter is with a brain transplant. The poor guy is devastated she dropped that one on him, son. She walks off saying she's gonna get some soundproofing for this room because she can't take it anymore. Back to stage 5. Use your wisdom to overcome obstacles. This time, it was inside a cave. The system chimes in, and he already knows some stupid crap is coming. But then something pops up that makes him smile and say, Eureka. The mission was to clear the F-rank dungeon, Tarantula Incubator. The hint was that the tarantula guarding it was level 20, so he'd have to find its weak point. There's the spitting tarantula, a damn giant spider. But for Kang, who's sick of these strategy missions, this is perfect. Something simple. Kill monster. Move forward. The spider spits at him. He thinks he dodged it and tries to sidestep. But actually, it was poison, and his whole arm was already melting. But son, Kang Ryun goes full psycho and just chops his own arm off, saying he ain't dying here. Even without the arm, he charges back under the beast, gets to the belly, and looks like he stabbed it. Just like the system said. The thing had a weakness, and the cut rips the monster in half. Kang Ryun is bathed in blood, saying he doesn't give a damn about weak points. He smashes the lock instead of using a key. Turns out he cleared stage 5 pretty easily. Just a shame the succubus mission never showed up again. And he's standing there like a lunatic, saying only people who aren't strong need to be smart. With that, he got the S-rank skill Titan S Strength, which lets him pump mana into his muscles. And he was at level 25. The scene shifts to a school, room 32. Someone tells a guy named Minsu that today is the day for his birthday beatdown. Dude just snaps back, telling him to back the hell off, says he's totally fried thanks to this stupid tutorial. His buddy asks how stage 1 went, and he's like, it was trash, just like the rumors said. Obviously, he's clearing it, but the real issue is there's zero intel on stage 5 right now. Friend goes, yo, I heard you're basically the top 1% if you even beat stage 4. That's why anyone who actually makes it hoards the info like it's gold or something. Then, out of nowhere, he spots a post. Someone claiming they crushed stage 7 and are heading to 8. This poster dropped a tip saying stage 4 was all about leadership, but the cheat code was just forcing the group to submit to your power. Then they said stage 5 asked for wisdom. But get this, the easiest way to beat it? Brute force. Just like stage 3 was supposed to be strategy, but the solution? More brute force. Stage 6, dedication. The fix? Smash your enemies with brute force. He's wondering what kind of freaking troll left these tips. Makes no sense, right? But Kang's literally screaming at the screen, claiming he's trying to save lives with these tips, but nobody buys it. His sister's right there, asking what the hell he's yelling about. So the rascal explains, I gave him the cheat codes, okay? Was being nice, told him exactly how to beat the tutorial, but nobody believes me. She just walks off laughing, telling him he's wasting his breath helping losers. He agrees, figuring he's about to clear stage 8 anyway. Gonna be the first guy in the whole country to graduate the tutorial. He'll be on the same level as the Guildmaster of Dangun or the boss of the Hades Alliance. But his sister cracks up, saying he'll never be on the level of the pros who cleared it without dying once. Meanwhile, he's been stuck in there for 4 months. He tells her to shut her trap. Stages 6 and 7 were one-shots. And boom, here we are, guys. Welcome to the tutorial. Stage 7 cleared, now entering the final boss fight of Stage 8. Reward for Stage 6 was that B-rank sword, Bilgain. Thing gave him berserker skills, pretty sure it drinks blood too. Stage 7 dropped Ronald's armor with auto regen. Our boy Kang Ryun is hyped. Second he beats 8, he unlocks his inventory in real life. Then he can finally check out that loot he snagged from the hobgoblin he killed. System says welcome. He's just praying this takes less than a week. But then his face drops when the system asks about his principles. He stands there confused, and suddenly, the floor and ceiling start cracking. Boom! He falls into a hole, dives through the void, and when he opens his eyes, he's in the middle of some street. Sees a woman walking right at him, but she phases right through his body like he's a ghost. First time seeing a city inside the tutorial. He wonders if he's back on Earth, but then he spots a weird couple up ahead and knows for sure. Nobody's human. Everyone's this weird brown color, looking like freaky bipedal lizards. Ugly as hell, he can't even look him in the eye. But there's one just standing there, staring. Wait, actually the thing isn't looking at him, it's staring at something behind him. Behind our boy? A massive horde of monsters closing in. The city mutants start freaking out, running for their lives as the creatures swarm the street. Kang spots a few monsters he's seen before, but there are others that are way bigger and insanely stronger. Nothing like any dungeon he's ever hit. Literally looks like the apocalypse hitting this place. Then he remembers the system. Said the connection with Honka happens in 4 years, 280 days. He starts putting it together. Maybe this is Earth's future after that countdown ends. Suddenly, a shadow covers him. He looks back, boom, giant titan with a space-looking head. Monster reaches down to squash him like a bug. Kang Ryun doesn't even dodge, just stands there and gets disintegrated. Then, in the void, a voice asks, "How did that feel?" Floating in front of him is this blurry, invisible shape. He asks if it's some kind of god. Thing says, nah, basically it's what you'd call a dimension administrator. This stage is just a personal interview. He can ask whatever the hell he wants. Also a chance for the admin to grill him. Kang immediately asks if that apocalypse he just saw is going to hit Earth in 5 years. Admin says it all depends on what humans do from here on out. Kang asks like, I don't get it. You're so powerful, why don't you just stop it? The admin replies, he ain't a guardian, he just keeps the balance. Best he can do is drop missions, make tutorials, that kind of stuff. But now it's his turn to ask. He wants to know, what keeps Kang Ryan alive? What's his code? Kang says that that's weird, kinda deep for a random question, right? Why does he even care? Guy says watching humans got him interested. All intelligent life is cool, but humans? They are on another level. Kang doesn't like how this guardian looks at people. Tells him he probably hasn't watched close enough. Nobody on his planet has time to sit around pondering that deep philosophical crap. Everyone's just busting their ass to survive, grab a little happiness, and make it through the day. Admin asks if that's what he's trying to protect. He says he wants to protect his sister, that useless brat, and his parents. Basically, fighting for family. Does that make him want to be a hero? That's what the admin asks. Kang replies he's died plenty of times, so he knows damn well he ain't cut out for the hero gig. Gotta be stronger people out there, so he's got zero chance. The damn admin agrees, says being a hero is something you're born with. He's way closer to being a loser than a hero. But personally, the admin likes him. Had a blast watching him suffer through every part of the tutorial. Kang realizes this bastard is just a sadist who enjoyed watching him die over and over. So he asks, what was the deal with Stage 5, Wisdom? And why'd it keep changing every time? Weirdly, the admin goes quiet and says time is up. Seem to like the kid though, cause there is a goodbye, man. Boom, message pops up. You terminated Stage 8. Dude is confused, but obviously the admin says the tutorial was exactly that, a tutorial. The challenges coming next were way worse, and like it or not, the admin believed Kang had the guts to become the hero who would save Earth. Our boy Kang Ryun is screaming, swearing some disaster happened back in Stage 5, but the entity just says congrats on finishing everything and vanishes. The system then announces this guy was number 62 to finish the tutorial and received the graduate title. Knew that mess back in Stage 5 would come back to haunt. That is what Kang Ryun says, waking up full of rage, man. But this time, someone shoved something in the mouth. A straight-up dirty sock. Asks if that wretched girl did it. Obviously, yeah, to stop the screaming, you damn idiot. Look on the face, says the test was a failure again. That is what the witch says, but look at this scumbag's face. Immediately swipes a hand to the side and summons the status window. Big sis better recognize, cause a legit graduate is here now, man. The real deal. The brat just got up and called it convenient. Time to move out, so let's start making some cash. That witch could have at least said congrats to our Kang Ryun, right, man? Now it makes sense why there is no boyfriend involved. That is what he says. And bam, takes a slap to the face. Breakfast seems done and she is heading out, saying she will be back. Wow, Kang Ryun is just staring at that little window. Tutorial Graduate, the title for those who completed Stage 8, giving a +2 to stats. Not something as amazing as expected. Plus, already had the impatient title, but hey, can't equip two at the same time. System explains that besides the main title, everything else only gives 50% effect. So, Graduate goes in the main slot, the other stays secondary. Now, for the moment everyone was so anxious for. The item that wretched goblin was carrying, a book. That looks weird and needs identifying. It is Magic Explosion, a book to learn that skill, right? The one that blows up magical energy. And weirdly, the guy is celebrating all happy. In my head, that sounds like trash, right? But whatever. Kang Ryun is a humble Kang Ryun, I guess. Simple roots. System asks to learn it and boom, accepted. Yes, the little book vanishes from the hand and now there is an itch to test this power. Back in the city, a girl introduces herself as Amy, a new public servant, and the first job placement is right at the school teaching the awakened crowd. That is where people go to get certifications, and it was also one of the first things built when all this mess started. She is just thinking, national heroes are gonna show up, man. Totally a job worth doing. Obviously though, some crazy lunatic has to arrive. Poor girl is shaking all over, apologizing, crying. Kang looks like a monster in front of her, while the poor thing begs to see the rest of the documents, tells her to speak up, asking what is up. She is even using the paper to defend herself, asking why the attitude. Yo girl, I am the one confused here. Why are you acting like that? That is what our Kang Ryun says, until someone nearby calls out, asking what is going on. The rest of the awakened crew is already recording, wanting to know why Kang Ryun is threatening the poor girl. Tries to explain, saying nothing happened, until someone appears asking what this mess is. Amy calls for instructor Kim Ryung-hoo and screams for help. Then Blondie takes a look and spots our Kang Ryan. Right then, both felt they had seen each other somewhere else. The guy asks for the paper and she hands it over. Dude sees the name Kang Ryun and says the photo looks totally different. Our Kang Ryun explains, look man, got awakened so the appearance changed, right? But I am telling you, it is me. If you do not believe it, check the ID or a fingerprint, whatever. The guy sees stage 5 cleared, and our Kang Ryun confirms it. For some reason, the guy wants to play the loser hiding true strength, so the level listed is super low. No idea why. Instructor says if the level is 12, that is way too high for someone who went up to level 5. Looks like someone illegally invaded some dungeons. Ah, now it makes sense, right? Not supposed to have a level that high, or reach stage 8. None of it adds up. Seems like a lie, but they are still suspicious. And the lying continues, saying a dungeon was entered before it became illegal. The instructor says understood, but wants to know what this masculinity power is. What kind of skill is that? Dude just says it is simple, doubles strength, and that is it. Guy says okay, but has one more little question. Everyone gets a talent at stage 3, an accessory at stage 4, and at stage 5 another reward, like a skill or something. And it would be good to list everything received. Kang is getting tired of this interview, but says fine. Takes a bite out of the arm man, which immediately starts to regenerate. Obviously, right? That is the skill gained. Self-regeneration. Shows the ring that blocks mental attacks. But since the skill was a lie, claims the ring gives a shout ability that scares everyone. Blondie demands a demo to prove it, man. Then we see another blonde dude with a buzz cut standing right there. Just watching him take a breath. Ah, that is the blonde guy who seems to remember that whole goblin mess. And instantly the trauma hits. Ears get covered, man. Then Kang lets out a scream that shakes the whole room and everyone covers their ears. Kang asks if more proof is needed and the guy says it is unbelievable after that. Oh my god, look at this dude's face. Artist, stop that man. Scumbag, I will find your name. I will kill you. Our Kang Ryun is down in the dumps, saying the ID got rejected. But now, after that roar, accepted immediately. But in the room, man, he is already isolated and looks like nobody wants to get close. The psycho who yelled at the receptionist and then screamed at another guy. Our boys notice the vibes are twisted, while that weird blonde guy is just keeping an eye on him. Kim Ryung-hoo walks in, intros himself, and says he's running the show here. Claims it's a pleasure meeting everyone. Everyone claps. So, for 10 days, it's theory studying and afternoon practice. All food and housing provided right on site. Anyone keeping their nose clean gets a certificate. Easy peasy. Finally, the guy asks everyone to pay close attention. Been half a year since the world changed. But even after 6 months, new info about dungeons and monsters keeps rolling in 24/7. Tactics, strategies, goals keep shifting and evolving. Basically, dude is saying everything learned here could change in a heartbeat. Nothing is guaranteed. Our boy Kang Ryun thinks this place is depressing as hell. Instructor keeps warning about incorrect or irrelevant info. That's why the guy's only teaching what's needed to survive. That's the message. Says he's looking forward to working with the crew for the next 10 days. Everyone starts getting up while Kang stares at the ceiling. Boring as hell. Thought this would be some awesome academy. Or just grab the card and bounce, but looks like it's gonna suck. Then some extra comes over. Our boy Kang Ryun introduces himself to Gu-tae. Guys want to know what's up with the beefcake? Kang shakes the dude's hand, says the name is Kang Ryun, and the guy gives this weird creep smile. Gu-tae crushes the hand, saying the sucker's screwed. To rule a place like this, gotta take out the cocky ones right from the start. Hated the kid since that scream earlier. But now the bully's confused, man. Kang's standing there, chill as ice, while Gu-tae is the one shaken. Gyeon. Damn, son. Kang Ryun activates Titan S strength, boosting all muscles by 12 strength points for 10 minutes. Now Gu-tae is sweating bullets, wondering how he is losing the power struggle. Dude dumped all points into strength. Doesn't make any sense. Worst part? Everyone's staring. Poor guy can't take it, makes a face, and boom. Arm explodes, man. What the hell? Blood spraying everywhere. Whole room's freaking out, and this weird blonde kid is just watching Jesus Christ. Ambulance hauls the guy off. Kang S like, you idiots got it all wrong. That beefcake just came up to me out of nowhere. Wanted a handshake. Then his arm started swelling up and boom! Exploded. That's it. Kim Ryong-hoo obviously ain't buying that story. But our boy Kang Ryun insists. Swears he is telling the truth. Claims he only survived cause of a skill boost in strength by 1.5 times. Otherwise, would V been crushed. Kim notices something fishy. Asks if the skill was muscle strength. Kang Ryun says yeah. But the instructor points out Kang said it doubled strength earlier. Now it's 1.5. Our boy starts stammering, claiming a mistake. Bad with numbers, 1.5, 2, whatever. Kim thinks this guy's going to be a headache, but just nods and sends him back. Back in his seat, Kid thinks he can finally chill when someone sits next to him. Obviously, it's that damn blonde, asking to hang out. Kang tells him to do whatever, but wonders why he's attracting muscleheads and delinquents. Suddenly, dude grabs Kang's hand, introduces himself as Yu Sung, just turned 18, fresh out of the tutorial. Wants to know how Kang Ryun pulled that off. Kang plays dumb, but the crazy guy presses him. Making that arm explode like pop. Must be an insane skill. Poor Kang Ryun realizes this kid's got a screw loose too. While later, Kim comes back, apologizes for the delay, jumps right in. 2 types of dungeons, common and irregular. Common ones show up the most, obviously. Cause a break after 4 weeks. Break means monsters invade in the city. Irregulars, though? Unpredictable. Could be 4 weeks, or boom, instant break the second they appear. To clear a dungeon gate, there is 2 ways. First, destroy the main core, usually hidden deep at the end, hard to find. Second way, destroy the normal core. Yeah, there is 2. Smashing the normal one just delays the break timer. Think I need to know this crap to kill monsters? Ain't here for useless lectures. Some beefcake in the back yells out. Kang Ryun realizes every musclehead in this room is trouble. Conveniently forgetting he's one of the muscleheads too, right? Guard tells the guy to zip it or get kicked out. But Kim Ryong-hoo says it's chill. Tells the guy to come down front. Gonna teach him a lesson. Beefcake says fine, impressed by the instructor's pride. Walks down, spreads his arms, asks, what you gonna do? Kim gives him 1 minute, says he'll dodge and block everything. If the guy lands even 1 scratch, he passes instantly. But if he fails, expelled. Yu and Kang Ryun watch from the back, wondering if the dude's got the guts to take that deal. Also kinda hype, cause it looks fun. Beefcake thinks he's being underestimated though. Draws his blade, warning the instructor not to regret it. Assistant screams, Mr. Kim, for the love of God. Dude pulled a real sword. Kim just adjusts his glasses, tells him to bring it. The extra loses his mind, charges straight at him. Kim dodges the first swing, easy, too predictable. Even from behind, a sloppy strike like that wouldn't hit anyone. Beefcake swings again, looking like he's gonna burst a vein, but only slices empty air. Kim appears right behind him. Problem is, movements are too wide. No enemy's gonna just stand there waiting for a hit like that. Obvious, right? Extra S giving it his all, slashing left and right, but Kim S just dodging with pure style. But check this out, son. Who's still saying this pace is gonna be an easy drop? Bam! A high kick disarms the dude and sends him to the floor, then grabs the phone to show a minute already passed. Actually made it to 128 right there. Look at that, I'm watching Kang, and it's like flashbacks to those pro boxer videos dodging absolutely everything. They never imagined pulling something like that off against an awakened was even possible. You could seriously see the massive gap between regular skills and raw talent. Seeing the agility and reaction time that Blondie showed off, Man Kang knows that even after being stuck in the tutorial for ages, this would be a struggle. So has Wool S wondering, in a 1v1 against this guy, who D take the win? That's the exact same thing damn Blondie and Yusung are thinking about. Look at that face again. Put that tongue back in your mouth, dude. What the hell is that? Kang S watching this freak show wondering if the guy S a total psycho, clearly already regretting letting that bastard sit nearby. At the school for the awakened, it was theory in the morning and practice in the afternoon. Kim says today they retraining skills with different weapons, told them to step up and pick a favorite. At first, the vibe was just to practice however they wanted, you know? Then the guy would watch and drop some tips depending on what everyone was doing. Kang grabs a sword and sees the thing is totally rusted out. And right then, that weirdo Blondie says just swinging a sword in the air is boring as hell. Why don't they play around a bit? Our boy Kang Ryun obviously accepts that challenge on the spot. Thank God Blondie backs down. Kim says they can only start practicing that stuff after the 6th day. Phew, the artist has every chance to draw that creep getting lost. The apocalypse could just start already, so goblins invade and stop this mess, right? That'd be nice. Under the blazing sun, everyone's there, right? Swinging swords, cutting wind. Our boy Kang Ryun, watching from the side, is shocked at how trash everyone is, man. The average level was way lower than expected. Didn't really want to practice, but maybe this could at least be a decent warm-up. So Kang grabs the sword, starts slashing here, slashing there, swinging from side to side. Kim, taking a peek, sees Kang Ryun throwing out all these cuts. And man, says that's not how to fight. Then the little guard comes over and says the defense is way too open, right? Gotta fix that sword angle. Maybe Kang S trying to show off for everyone with those moves, but it's all useless in real combat. Our boy Kang Ryun, you already want to kill the guy. Yeah, thinking that caused you re-immortal, right dude? No problem taking a hit to the chest when you just respawn the next day. The guy says trying that fencing in a dungeon means death. But man, our Kang Ryun just grabs the dude by the collar, asks if the guy's good at fighting and wants to catch these hands. Actually, didn't do that. Or maybe did, but walked away saying, cool, I'll keep that in mind. So the guy calls for Sang-won, right? The little guard bro. Claps hands and suddenly grabs everyone's attention, saying the trainee and the assistant are going to do a demo right now. Kang's confused, right? Why did it fall on him in the end? Blondie hands over a sword to the instructor and tells the guy to use the skill he wanted our Kang Ryun to use, right? Against him. And obviously, our boy Kang Ryun gets to fight however he wants. Damn, Blondie definitely realized Kang is the real deal, huh? And now wants that poor dude to learn a lesson the hard way. E8. The poor guy is confused, but Blondie just counts down. The count hits 3, and our boy Kang Ryun charges. Kang Ryun coming in with straight fury. Bam! First hit. That's where the guy gets all twisted trying to defend. Kang sorta shifts the sword path, smack right on the hand. Ripping it away, man, sent it flying, and the poor dude's already on the floor. Damn, son. 2 hits. Wasn't even trying to kill, right? Just disarmed him. Total humiliation. Then the instructor tells everyone they gotta learn skills ready for real combat. Need a body that reacts to attacks instantly. Just like Kang demonstrated. The most important thing is how you react to threats when you start moving. There's no correct form, and nothing is absolute. He asks for applause while the poor guard is standing there bright red, totally embarrassed. My boy Kang Ryun Kang's got his nose in the air. The bastard didn't understand a word he said, did he? Just went straight for the throat. That's it. The instructor goes over to the guard, apologizes, saying didn't mean for the guy to get beat down like that. He gets up and says it's all good, learn something new anyway. But the dude was kinda shook by it. The instructor says, don't be ashamed. Just wanted to confirm something. You little sneak. Used our Kang Ryun's lust for battle to expose his secrets. Next chapter kicks off with My Precious Training Diary. Writer, Kang. Day 1. The bro annoyed him, so he blew up an arm and class was boring as hell. Day 2 wasn't much different from yesterday. Trained with some weapons and Sung seemed to really dig it. Also, really gotta start avoiding that creep. Day 3 realized only that weird bro was willing to talk to him. And the pest was like a mosquito that wouldn't buzz off. Day 4 was so bored, just drew himself slicing off a goblin's head. Day 5 just wanted to go home, man. Was totally fed up, even dropped to the floor mid-training, bored out of his mind. Day 6. There he is, look, face planted on the table. He tells Blondie, right? Go start a fight, do something to get kicked out of this place. Wouldn't that be cool? Sung, though, wants to know why the hell. Wasn't it him who said they'd stay quiet and graduate? Our boy says, I'm telling you to make a mess, son. If you get expelled, ain't my fault. I'm chilling. But Sung tells him to chill out. Today was the 6th day. Finally gonna have some sparring matches, so something good is bound to happen. Had a sixth sense warning about it. A bit later, training time, the bro grabs the weapon, instantly loses the sword, and hits the deck. The instructor announces Kang Ryun won and calls the next group. As soon as he goes to sit down, Sung says he is impressed, really fights like a beast. Our Kang Ryun, though, replies that his opponent was just weak as hell. But while watching the other players, he asks himself, what is this feeling? My mouse. Watching this feels like babysitting. The skill level here is way lower than expected. Hard to tell what kind of talent these scrubs actually have. Guess most people don't make it far in the levels anyway. Worst part? 2 more of these boring fights to go until day 8. Still, these 2-second fights are a total snooze fest. That dude on stage rushes in with a spear, other guys screaming his head off, while Kang Ryun is just watching, totally bored. Whoa, damn, dude literally tried to spear that guy right in the brain. Good thing the instructor stopped it just in time. Winner is trainee Kim Ton-gu. Seeing those fast reflexes got Kang Ryun itching to fight someone actually strong, like that instructor. They call Yu Sung up. He tells Kang he'll be right back, flashes this creepy little grin, and just strolls onto the stage. That weirdo did say something interesting was gonna go down. Better not start any drama that blows back on us. At least the instructor S standing right there, so nothing crazy should happen, right? Wait, hold up. The girl isn't using a normal weapon, she's got some magic staff thing. Sure, magic has perks, but in a tiny arena like this, probably a bad call. Instructor remembers her main weapon being a sword, so why the heck is she holding a spiked mace now? Yu Sung asks if there's a rule against switching weapons. Instructor says it's cool. Oh man, this guy gives me the creeps. Gonna smash that poor girl's head in, watch. Instructor starts the countdown. 1, 2, everyone's waiting for 3. Girl summons these crystal shards and fires them off. But Yu Sung's mace glows purple and smash. Breaks him like it's nothing. Too easy. Dude's got that freaky smile plastered on his face. Kang Ryun S actually impressed though. First time seeing real magic. Guess it's possible to learn that stuff in the tutorial. Weird that nobody saw this during martial arts training. Was she hiding it? Anyway, she looks stressed out, gripping that staff tight before unleashing a spell. The attack looked all wobbly and weird. Total flop. So she fires off another massive crystal. Yu Sung glances at the instructor real quick, lifts the mace like he's gonna block, but nope, sidesteps and lunges straight at her. Kang looks spooked, thought Yu Sung was gonna smash her face in, but the psycho actually used his mace to redirect her attack. Sent it flying right at the instructor. Of course, instructor dodges it easily, but while that S happening, Yu Sung rushes the girl and wham, right in the skull. Oh my god, did he actually kill her? Dude celebrating. Knew it. Told you this guy was bad news. Yu Sung's covered in blood, smiling like a maniac. Kang Ryun better stay far away from this psycho, or just take him out seriously. Oh phew, calling a medic looks like just a fracture. Dawn to know why I care about this girl, but glad she's not dead. Don't go killing people, you creepy blonde freak. I really hate this guy. Sheesh. Instructor points a giant sword right at Yu Sung's face, demanding an explanation. Covered in blood, the little rat claims it was just an accident. Accidents happen, sir. My bad. Didn't mean to. Instructor asks if he can hear himself. Guy just says, yes. Even winks at him. Unbelievable. Instructor turns away, calls a 20-minute break. Everyone back at 3. Tells Yu Sung to follow him. Kang watches them go. Looks like he recognized that blonde dirtbag from somewhere. Even after the poor girl got blasted, training kept going for 2 more days. And nope, Yu Sung didn't get kicked out. Kept training like nothing happened. But the poor guy fighting him next is shaking in his boots. Kang notices a healer on standby now, probably there for Kang Ryun. 8th day ends quietly, or it should have. Here comes Kang Ryun, 500 kilos of pure muscle. Calls out Kim Ryong-hoo, says since training is wrapping up, perfect time for a real fight. A proper spar. Instructor tells him to quit being a pain. Just wait 2 days and it's over. But Kang's curious. Asks if he isn't sick of these kiddie games. You can tell the instructor is dying for a real fight too. Pushing papers and babysitting definitely isn't his vibe. Then Kang drops the bomb. He knows they've met before. Whoa, hit a nerve. Instructor looks ready to snap. Out on the court, Kang Ryan says it all makes sense now. He's the guy from before. Kang thanks him for the help. Saved a lot of lives. Relieved the guy didn't mention the item Kang stole and ran off with. Kang also mentions that for someone at stage 5, that sword of his was pretty sweet. Yo, why's he complimenting the dude S sword? Sus. Plus, you can only get that gear at stage 6. Kang claims he just found it on the ground. Yeah, right. Classic, whatever excuse. Kim Ryong-hoo opens his system menu, says it's fine, knows Kang won't be honest no matter what he asks, draws his blades, says since that's the story, he'll fight with something he found around, too. Then boom, vanishes and reappears right behind our musclehead. Kang tried to turn, but the guy moved like a ghost, barely managed to block in time. Kim Ryong-hoo is impressed. Thought Kang was just muscle, but his reflexes are legit. Kang says he's been through hell, no way he's gonna be an easy target. Instructor vanishes again, saying he won't hold back then. Kim Ryung-hoo starts spamming that shadow technique, attacking from everywhere. But Kang keeps up with the pace. Kim Ryung-hoo can't believe a kid fresh out of the tutorial can actually handle this heat. Kang-s getting sliced up, but he-s grinning. Now this is a real fight. I am scared to see how he's gonna look in like 15 chapters, dude. He's gonna be 7 meters tall, 700 kilos of pure muscle with a total killer face. And the instructor is still impressed. Kang Ryun's Regan was just as wild as it looked. He switches his grip on the sword, saying, since that's the case, no need to hold back anymore. He launches a direct attack, claiming he's gonna create an opening impossible to dodge. Watch Kang smile. Man, he defends by throwing his arm right onto the blade. Kim Ryung-hoo can't believe it. He was feeling both forearm bones, while that weirdo just grinned at him. Our boy Kang Ryun even shouts, take that, pulls him in by clamping his bone on the sword and headbutts him. Guy gets all twisted up and falls. Yeah, you definitely lost, didn't you, buddy? But it's cool. Nobody was gonna beat that freak anyway. A while later, ice pack on the face, man. Grabbed a soda and said, our Kang Ryun is weird. Too strong. Kang says the guy is pretty strong too. Besides, in training like this, you kinda can't use your skills. But indirectly, he used his. Kim Ryung-hoo says if that's the case, then he's the real winner. Obviously, our Kang Ryun isn't gonna accept that. After some stress, Kang Ryun yelling, the guy stands up and says thanks. It was a great fight to blow off steam. Now he was gonna head back to his room and get a good night's sleep. Cause tomorrow he better be ready. It was practice day in a dungeon. Damn, son. Looks like there's a hooded figure over there gonna cause some trouble in the dungeon they were hitting up. Weirdo turned invisible, opened the gate, and went inside. Obviously, next day, we're right in front of that exact same gate. This dungeon is being used as a training area for the school. That's what the guy says. An F-rank place known as the Forest. Forest of what, right? Forest of Keek. Guess what? The monsters here are called cake monsters. Average F-rank critters. This place was chosen first cause there aren't a big traps, and the monster type is pretty standard. Second, cake creatures don T-form packs, so you can fight one at a time, which is way safer for learners. The rest of the details would be explained inside. The gate opens. Kang is anxious. This was his first dungeon, right? After snapping back to reality, he'd never gone through a little gate like this. And strangely, that floating sensation is what you felt when you started crossing that door. Your vision gets blurry for a second, and when your body hits the ground again and you open your eyes, you are in a completely different setting. Kang is there, impressed by the view. Asks how they were gonna get back, cause damn Yu Sung answers that all of this was explained in class. Obviously, our Kang Ryun didn't pay attention to any lectures. Kim Ryung-hoo then says, first off, they were gonna hunt one just to take a look and learn how it's done. Then they'd split into groups, and everyone had to go out on the hunt. With that, he calls one of the instructors and tells them to lure one of the cakes. They'd move to a good combat area, and he'd keep explaining during the fight. Cakes are these beasts that look like a huge bird. They were famous for fast legs and a really hard beak, man, capable of destroying even metal. A standard strategy, though, was to surround them so they kinda couldn't figure out where to run. But, right at that moment, a message pops up saying the main core had been destroyed. The portal leading out had opened. The dungeon would soon collapse and everyone better get out. The whole place starts cracking, and Ryung-hoo tells them to calm down and obviously head for the exit, since the place was gonna fall apart. They had enough time, so no worries. Outside, everyone is there, right? Kinda confused. They went there to practice, but what the hell happened? Kim Ryung-hoo does a head count and sees looks like everyone got out fine. What he wanted to know was, who finished this dungeon? When suddenly one of the instructors calls for him. Taking a look, the dungeon gate was leaking this black color, some kind of portal. Suddenly, the instructor's expression changes. He immediately orders reinforcements, and for all beginners to get away from there. That was actually a dungeon break. Kang asks what's up. The guy warns him, man, that a bunch of monsters were going to start pouring out and he'd need to help with this. Our Kang Ryun, apparently, is very ill-informed. He doesn't even know what a dungeon break is yet. Ah, it's explained. What happened is the guy destroyed the main core without killing the monsters. And then the break happens because all the monsters are kind of being expelled. Get it? I explained it here for you guys, and the teacher is asking if Kang didn't see this in class, right? He says he did, for sure. He was just testing the instructor to see if he knew too. The guy tells him to quit fooling around, man, especially since the creatures were coming. With that, the first cake appears. He charges in, wishing Kang good luck and saying he hopes he can hold that thing off. Whoa, looks like this time our Kang Ryun stayed there while the instructor went to give some other tips to the rest of the crew. Our Kang Ryun sees a pile of creatures and asks how he's gonna deal with all that alone. But man, he's eager telling them to bring it on until that bastard Yu Sung arrives smashing the first one's head. Phew, at least he didn't drool and he's all red. That's good enough for me. Our Kang Ryun asks what's the deal with the crazy guy laughing like the Joker over there. Oh, just cause I said it, right? The drooler with his big tongue out and all red saying the feeling of smashing a head with a mace is the best. I've got a face just like Kang's. Exactly the expression I make when that bastard does that, and the blonde is there in the middle of the fight saying he's not keeping this all to himself. Our Kang Ryun starts drawing his sword, saying at least the psycho was on his team. With that, he attacks, already slicing up a bunch of them. Yu Sung is watching, impressed. And our Kang Ryan says nobody else giving him cover, man. He plays this solo. Lion's Roar activated, he calls out the bastards. With that, all opponents' stats and morale are reduced. Everyone there in the middle of the fight seems to realize that from 1 second to the next, it got kinda easier. And the instructor, attentive as always, notices it was an area debuff. Seeing how everyone was handling it, looked like they'd hold out till backup arrived. Only problem was that he wasn't saying a word anymore. Kang Ryun's right there, tearing his hand up, blasting that first punch. And man, the skill completely wrecked his hand. What the hell is that? He claims the thing is usable, right? Cause it is kinda deadly. For anyone else, that wouldn't make any sense. Yu Sung immediately wants to know what skill that is, if he got it in the tutorial. Kang Ryun answers it's a little secret, but right then, his expression changes. Amidst all those creatures, there was a mutant orc that was obviously the dungeon boss. That was the last thing Rian wanted to happen, man. The boss showing up before support. Even with Kang there, facing a boss would be totally different. He sees the two of them sticking together, but I'm sure it's not gonna work. But check out those bastards' faces again. And now Kang Ryun, for some reason, starts sticking his tongue out. Put that tongue away, kid. Whoa, next chapter starts saying tomorrow's the day to celebrate that they finished everything. Someone asks about the accident. Ryan says they heard someone entered the gate before them and caused that break. Probably an extension of those dungeon terrorists that started popping up last month. Oh, you can tell it's a girl, right? It's Kang Ryun's sister. Seems women are in short supply in this world. She wants to know if any student caught attention. He says, yeah, 2 weirdos. The 2 he worked with to kill the break boss. One had exceptional physical strength. The guy's reflexes were on the same level as that monster, but the weirdest thing actually was his regen capacity. He was strangely aggressive and had zero fear of getting hurt, not to mention he didn't get tired. The combat style was unpredictable, which was harder for opponents since he kinda didn't care about anything. The other student, though, had a completely different style. He was more the standard genius type, a prominent figure, talented in combat, quick with decisions, and the only problem is that he had a strange tendency to be violent. The woman said that, leaving all that aside, it was rare to see him praising so many people like that. She asks if he already sent a recruitment offer, and he tells her to remember that recruiting students still in this phase is, forbidden. The poor girl wants to complain, but he says he just follows the rules, same as the boss. And that right there is the girl of the hour, Han Se-yeon, leader of the Dangun Guild. And she's got a yandere face. For some reason, she doesn't look like a guild master who's right in the head. And we've already noticed, right, that no one in this story is right in the head. With that, congrats are in order, old man. Over the 10 days they spent there, they became Grand Masters. That wrapped up their entrance ceremony into the Hunter's Wall. Kang Ryun is impressed there's someone else working in this place besides the ones he saw. Moment he stepped out, he got spooked, cause the butler showed up telling Yu Sung his car arrived, except the weirdo had a BMW, apparently, covered in diamonds. Our boy is shocked. He's so rich that he tells Kang Ryun to get in, he'll drive him home. Kang Ryun just accepts. He's already getting in, right? Man, when suddenly someone calls out to him. It's Kim Ryong-hoo. Look who wants to talk. Our girl points like a kid saying she didn't know he was so friendly. Then the guy explains that for that boss they killed, from the dungeon break, both would receive a reward since they helped a lot. They'd contact him soon. He was supposed to keep that in mind. Kang's a bit confused. He thought this bastard had something else to say, but the guy just turned around, and then he still yells, telling the damn girl to praise him more. The other guy turns back, though, to give that speech acknowledging Kang is strong. He was gonna keep getting stronger, and soon enough, he doesn't a doubt he'll see him in countless dungeons. But he should never forget the responsibility that comes with being strong. Now, he was one of the awakened, too. And why did he put that thing on his face? He's walking around the living room telling his sister to take a look. Kang Ryun's got potential. She obviously doesn't care. He tells her to stop underestimating him, because starting tomorrow, he's going to go out clearing tons of dungeons. That's when he stops to think and wonders, how does he find dungeons? Are they on Google Maps yet? Sister says looks like there's a site for awakened people, called Raider, where you can see stuff like that. He grabs his phone saying he doesn't even know about something like that. Apparently, she's an expert. She's there wondering how her brother is getting dumber and dumber. At least when he just played games in his room, he seemed a little smarter. Taking a look, though, Kang Ryun sees info about maps, monsters, and party recruitment. He remembers the Orc Forest was an F-rank dungeon, but something like that he could beat solo. Maybe it was the perfect time to make some serious cash and show off to his mom. TV says the reward for the weakest dungeons is up to $1,000. And now this thing called Mana Stone seemed to be getting a lot of attention. That also guaranteed some extra cash. So for an F rank hunter, making money wasn't too hard. The worn out old man there is. Kang Ryun's dad, calling for the wife, wanting to know if she talked to their son. She says yes. He sent her $10,000 to spend on whatever she wanted. Looks like he even bought a car last week. Seems time skipped ahead, huh man? Dad says he's impressed. Finally, this bastard makes more money than him. Mom, though, was still worried. She knows a lot of people die in that place and get hurt. She hopes nothing happens to him. Dad says let Kang Ryun do whatever he wants. Better than an adult being unemployed. Plus, he heard people take groups. There are teams. So he's sure Kang Ryun won't have any trouble. He won't do anything risky and must have everything under control. Strangely, Mom agrees, saying he's always been a brilliant Kang Ryun. Obviously, though, they didn't see what their son turned into these past 18 chapters. He's there in the dungeon all alone, cutting everything down, saying this is nothing. Just like the Joker, chilling in the cave all alone. Parked outside, a brand new Bentley. Looking clean. Mom is blowing up the phone, saying this fool won't pick up. Dad is like, whatever, they will call tomorrow to check in. Mom agrees, but just had to bring up that weird business that gate that popped open at the mini-mart across the street. Pops said not to sweat it. The government is going to send some suits to handle it real soon. Mom thinks they should call the son and the crew, but Dad shuts that down fast. Bad idea. But guess what? While they are arguing, that dungeon gate cracks open and boom, a bunch of orcs start pouring out. And obviously the boss is right there in the middle of the pack. Meanwhile, sun is coming up and our boy Kang Ryun just crushed another dungeon run. Kang Ryun grinded all night long and steps out wondering, one more run? Or if that is pushing it too hard. Better chill for a bit. Plus, who knows if resurrection actually works in the real world, right? Dying once was enough. But the second the car door opens and the phone lights up, 36 missed calls from Sis. Whoa. Calls back asking, what's up? And just hears a scream. She is yelling something about mom and dad. Can't make out the words, but looking at Kang Ryun's face, it ain't good news. News is saying the government is doing everything they can about the dungeon break. National Defense is scrambling troops to stop people from getting wiped out. Problem is, some locals are trapped and need help like right now. So they called in the Dangun Guild. Meanwhile, Kang Ryun hits the crib, suits up in the armor, and heads out. Sis asks if this is really happening. Don't sweat it, the guy says. I am Kang Ryun, tutorial graduate. Tells Sis to sit tight, this will get fixed. She screams to be careful and stop trying to act cool, or chase clout. Kang Ryun just says, don't worry, and bounces. Slams the door, promising to be back real quick with mom and dad, then floors it down the highway looking savage. Cops try to block the road, saying, turn around, you can't go through. Just flashes that shiny ID card. Kang Ryun, awakened. Boom, instant access. Cop says, stay safe. Kang Ryun salutes and smashes the gas pedal. While speeding, realizes 5 portals broke at the exact same time, bro. Even rank E dungeons are starting to crack open. Used to be just rank F. Parents need to hang on until the rescue arrives. But is there enough time? Then suddenly, holy crap, a mutant boar comes out of nowhere, slams the car and sends it flying. What the hell? But Kang Ryun steps out like it is nothing, sword already drawn. Tells that bastard to bring it on. It is payback time. But then the beast snorts, and whoa, this thing is way bigger than the usual trash mobs. Right then, screaming echoes from down the street. Takes a look, yup, a whole squad of goblins. Starts wondering, if the Goblin Kingdom got wiped out in a past life or something? Cause these freaks are everywhere. Starts running, shouting some nonsense about the best revenge is forgiveness. The boar keeps chasing, obviously, but then thwack, it takes an arrow from the goblins. Kang Ryun cheers. If these ugly things want to kill each other, be my guest. Didn't see that coming. Guess different monster races hate each other too. But the problem is the sun is already going down. Damn, how long has this forest trek been? Kang Ryun left the dungeon in the morning, dude. Hours passed, phone battery is dying, can't use a flashlight, and getting there is a total pain. And once again, deep in the woods, something sneaks up from behind. What now, bro? Spins around, swinging the sword blind, and slash, cut down a wolf. Good thing it was just a wolf, right? Then again, if a person tried to sneak up, they would get sliced too. Realize that thing attacked while invisible. Pure instinct got the kill. But now, senses more coming from the sides, surrounded again. Man, just let Kang Ryun save the parents already. At least the training paid off. Sword comes out, and everybody gets shredded. Now the adrenaline is kicking in. He is loving it. Tells those SOBs to bring everything they got. Next morning, wakes up in the middle of the woods, covered in wolf blood. Fought all night long, sun came up, and finally caught a quick break. Time to get moving to mom and dad's house again. They are stuck there trying to text, and Dad is telling Mom to keep it quiet. Dad is wondering, why isn't Kang answering? Mom thinks it is weird. Sis said he was on the way, but it feels way too risky. Dad was all, it's fine at first, but now, not so sure. Those orc monsters showed up yesterday, and looks like even the high-level players are struggling to handle them. News says they came from a rank F dungeon supposed to be weak sauce, but that is definitely not happening. Plus, there is some terrifying monster roaming the street. Dad takes a peek outside. Whoa, check out the beast he is seeing. He is wondering, who is that monster killing the other monsters? Dad is sure his son couldn't take that thing down. Imagine the shock when he finds out. Kang Ryun left a total war zone down there. 15 orcs soloed, but more are creeping around the corner. Weirdly enough, there are 3 orc warriors. As far as the intel goes, those guys are supposed to be bosses. Maybe it is rank E, not F, like he thought. Suddenly, yells out for Mom and Dad, the son is here to the rescue. Mom peeks out, wondering if that monster is actually her boy. Dad is just confused about what happened the last few months. Kang Ryun, he is already rushing the orcs. The beast comes screaming. Kang Ryun charges, blocks the first hit, then another ugly one tries to stab him. But dude, he ducks under and smashes a crater into the monster's jaw. First one drops, he grabs the second one's sword, but bam, takes a punch that cracks a bone. Ouch. But Kang Ryun is unstoppable, son. Died so many times that this is nothing. Keeps going, stabs another one and launches it into the air. Another one hits the dirt, literally makes the beast eat a fist sandwich. Then boom, activates a mana explosion right inside its head. Holy crap, totally expected, but it made a massive bloodbath. And what the hell, now there are like 200 of them surrounding him. Dude, where are the rest of South Korea's awakened at? Obviously, in the middle of all that mess, someone is getting stomped flat. Ryun looks, sees the size of the freaking beast. A huge titan, at least the name fits. Our boy Kang Ryun already knows that it's the leader of the damn pack and ugly as hell. Was gonna save mana to Regan, but nah, time to pull out the titan strength. Muscles start contracting, pulls in air, and activates Lioness Roar, telling every son of a gun to bring it on. Takes a hit to the face and drops like a total idiot. Man, looks like a one-on-one showdown there. But the creeps formed a little circle. Our Kang Ryun gets tossed back into the fight, realizes these bastards were just playing around. And bam, face shot, kick to the gut, flat on the back. Worst part is, seems the mana is dry, so the body isn't regenerating anymore. Problem is, not even sure if coming back to life is gonna happen this time. What the hell, man? But not exactly keen on finding out if getting up is an option. Without a single tooth left, lets out a roar saying ain't abandoning the family there. Then charges in one more time, but suddenly notices some goblins creeping on the parents by the window. Man freezes for a second and screams, telling them to come get some. Bolts for it, but goblins grab onto the back. Spins around, cuts another, but then the big hand comes down and smashes the head into the ground. Vision starts blurring, saying can I die here? But suddenly a golden slash rips through the beast, bro. Some badass just arrived. Oh snap, it's our new guild leader, guys. Fierce, totally gorgeous. Turns around and the crew says the side is clear, wants to know about the civilians. And the guy answers, most are already evacuated. Leaders kinda spooked the damage was way worse than imagined. At least someone had managed to herd the orcs into one area to make the job easier. So asks, right? Where's the dude who was holding the beast back till arrival? Guy says it's a shame, but unfortunately died. Leader says understood, asked to discard the body, right? But be respectful about it, because that's a hero. That's when a look around happens, right? And where's the damn corpse? Our Kang Ryun is opening eyes exactly where? No clue, because the chapter ended there. Look at the sneaky devil. It was that tree where sleep happened, right? Last time, Resurrection activated and escaped a crisis moment. Since no spot was designated, respawns at the last place slept. But for the next 24 hours, 50% weaker and lost a level 0.2, right? Meaning, 1 attribute down. Flashback hits, remembers the goblin climbing up to attack the parents. Looks like 24 hours passed, man. Grabs the sword and takes off running, saying, gotta know what went down or kill those monsters. Problem is, the body is heavy as hell, price to pay right, for getting resurrected. After 5 hours of sprinting with this exhausted body, finds the parents' house empty and abandoned. Totally devastated right then, started heading back home. On the way, bumped into army guys and asked to borrow a phone. That's when the call to the sister happened. Dad lost an arm and mom's in a coma, and with that, 2 months roll by. Damn, tough break. Okay then, right? TV announces the Dangun guild leader, named Se-yeon, entered another rank C dungeon this time. Same moment our Kang Ryun is heading out and the sister wants to know if it's another dungeon. Says yes. Sis asks to be more careful. Seems dying 3 times just this week is the record. While Sis is saying what happened isn't anyone's fault, just shuts the door and goes down the stairs. She opens it, staring at our Kang Ryun, not knowing what to say. Meanwhile, In the dungeon known as Entree, a blondie is there slicing ants and leveling up. Crew congratulates, saying leveling is fast. Really, no wonder that's the strongest in the group. Guy's arrogant, thinking these losers have no idea this is an elite person, someone who reached stage 5, unlike the rest of the losers. However, acts like a friendly guy, a civil servant, saying it's all thanks to the team. Without such an amazing squad, couldn't do it. What a son of a gun. That's when a weird sound hits and a look to the side happens, man. It was our Kang Ryun coming in with a broken sword on the run. Guys wonder if that psycho is going for the dungeon alone. Just ran past and Blondie asked where to, saying that direction is the core, so it's madness. Kang just ignored it. And now the group, right? Want to know what the plan is? Follow Kang Ryun? Go back to another one? Guy answers for now, gonna follow. If things start going wrong, retreat instantly and leave the guy there. With our Kang Ryun man, already a bunch of rank E soldiers that are just big ants, activates the so-called Wayne's secret technique, a rank A skill boosting all attributes by 40% minus mana, but physically breaks the body over time. Basically like a berserk skill, right man? The classic. Ants throw themselves in, surrounding from all sides. But, as always, Kang Ryun is cutting everything, smiling like a lunatic. In a few seconds, it's a pile of bodies, and the other group